They are bacteria. They are known as cyanobacteria. Cyano because they are bluish in color and greenish in color. So they thought they are algae, but they are not algae, but they are actually bacteria. They are single celled without a nucleus. And these organisms were the first living organisms on the surface of Earth which were responsible for making oxygen. Until today, the oxygen in the atmosphere is produced by them. So we still have them. They are present since 3.5 billion years ago. They are still present. So they are nothing but bacteria trapped in sediment, and over the years they formed rock, and they formed these rock formations. So there are many methods by which you can study them. No scientific evidence is proved unless there are tests which support them. So these are the layers, lower layers say old time, and as the layers increase, you can tell the age of that rock. And the different colors which you can see, these are the different types of microorganisms which produce different pigments. And these pigments help to trap light. So, you have heard of photosynthesis? Yes. In photosynthesis, you have a pigment, chlorophyll. So, you only probably know that there is only one type of photosynthesis, which plants do, where they take up sunlight, take up carbon dioxide, get some water, and with the use of chlorophyll, they make what? They make organic food. So they take carbon dioxide, that is inorganic, and they make organic food, which is carbohydrate, which we eat also. Because we can't make carbohydrate. We can't make carbohydrate. Plants can make carbohydrate. So this type of photosynthesis evolves oxygen, and cyanobacteria could do this type of photosynthesis. It is a chemical reaction, and they make chemicals, that is carbohydrates. So these type of organisms do a type of photosynthesis where oxygen is produced. But there are 8 types of photosynthesis. You only know one. There are so many bacteria which do not produce oxygen, but still capture light and make carbohydrate. So that's another type of photosynthesis. And the type of pigment varies. So only plant and cyanobacteria have chlorophyll. But other bacteria which do photosynthesis, they have other pigments. They capture light of the sun of different wavelengths. So some have orange color, some have green color, some have blue color, some have yellow color. And here you can see all those bacteria. So remember I showed you the hot spring and different colors? Actually they are bacteria which can do photosynthesis, and they have different pigments which are surviving in that hot spring, in that hot area. So the conditions on Earth in the primitive time was, there was no oxygen. There were so many different types of gases, other gases, but oxygen was not present. So different type of organisms were also present. No organisms at that time. Temperature was more than 100 degrees, no atmosphere, UV was, lot of UV was there. Meteorite showers were there because there was no atmosphere. Free water could not exist. Even if they would be formed, it would immediately evaporate. Early life forms were heat tolerant and resemble present day hyperthermophiles. Hyperthermophiles are those organisms which can survive more than 80 degrees of temperature. More than 80 degrees. अगर मैं एक ह्यूमन बीइंग को या एक प्लांट को 80 डिग्री से ज्यादा टेम्परेचर में डाल दूं तो क्या होगा? मर जाएगा. आपका टेम्परेचर, नॉर्मल बॉडी टेम्परेचर कितना है? जब 38 हो जाता है आपको बुखार हो जाता है. सिर्फ 1 डिग्री इंक्रीज. Only 1 degree increase in temperature, you have fever. You don't want to eat food. You don't want to even get up from your bed. Just imagine. Why you don't want to eat food? Because the enzymes in your body, they don't function at high temperature. Just with 1 degree increase or 2 degree increase. Just imagine these microorganisms or organisms, any organism which can survive in more than 80 degrees. This means they have enzymes which can survive high temperature. You understand? So, the conditions on the earth, no biology, no organisms right now, entirely chemicals. So the origin of life is based on chemistry. There were only chemicals in the environment. Spontaneous reactions. Who catalyzed these reactions? UV. There was so much of UV, no atmosphere, sunlight gave out UV, and they catalyzed these chemicals reactions took place. Organic compounds accumulated, and then this is the famous Urey-Miller experiment. You read about this? He proved it. They proved it that Urey and Miller, they did an experiment. They put so many gases in one. They put so many gases in one chamber, gave UV and electrical discharge, which was just like lightning or UV in the primitive atmosphere, and then some water was formed, heat was given, and what they found was, they found RNA and proteins. No DNA, only RNA and proteins. So DNA is not the first molecule to be formed. You know, in living organisms, we always talk about living organisms are made up of cells and tissues. Each cell has DNA. It is made up of proteins. It may have DNA, but we don't talk about RNA. But when the origin of life started, DNA was nowhere to be seen. It was only RNA, because RNA has catalytic function. It can carry out reactions and it can sustain life. So they were able to prove that through chemical interactions, biological components could be formed. RNA and proteins are biological components. So gases formed organic compounds, and these organic compounds joined together and they formed the first microorganism. First living organism. We are nowhere to be seen. The first living organism. Now when the first organisms were formed, they started competing with each other. And how would life sustain? How would any life sustain? Survival of the fittest. For survival, one organism has to go into the next generation. Right? You agree? अगर लाइफ चलनी है तो एक जनरेशन से दूसरा जनरेशन होना चाहिए, दूसरे जनरेशन से तीसरा जनरेशन होना चाहिए. जो कैरेक्टर्स फर्स्ट जनरेशन में है वो सेकंड जनरेशन में होने चाहिए, सेकंड जनरेशन से वो थर्ड जनरेशन में जाएंगे, एंड ऐसे ही लाइफ प्रोपगेट होती रहेगी. There is survival of the fittest, and the first oxygen producing microorganism evolved. When oxygen was evolved, for the first time atmosphere could be created, which is formed of ozone layer. Now what happened? UV light stopped. UV light stopped, and UV was catalyzing all these reactions. Now you have oxygen evolution and you have formation of the ozone layer, which formed the atmosphere of the earth. So RNA and proteins and lipids were the first biological molecules which could be formed. RNA has the ability to self-replicate. This means RNA can form RNA. It can do catalytic function. It can catalyze reactions. It has catalytic action, and it can take information from one generation to the other generation. Proteins also have catalytic function, and lipids generally form the outer covering. So outer covering, उसके अंदर lipids और उसके अंदर proteins और उसके अंदर RNA. So first organism is formed. Now another is formed, another is formed, another is formed. They start competing with each other. Then they start mating with each other, and from one generation you have the next generation, then next generation, and so on. Information from one generation is carried forward to the next generation. But I am not talking about DNA. How did DNA come? DNA कहाँ से आया? RNA और DNA में फर्क मालूम है? क्या फर्क है? RNA हमारे अंदर भी रहता है. अच्छा, वायरसेस में RNA होता है, राइट? Yes. In RNA oxygen is available, DNA is not. Yes. एक पोजीशन पे स्ट्रक्चर में, एक पोजीशन में डीएनए में ऑक्सीजन नहीं होता, आरएनए में होता है. ये स्ट्रक्चरल डिफरेंस है. राइबोज शुगर, जो राइबोज शुगर का स्ट्रक्चर होता है, स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द डीएनए में एक पोजीशन में स्ट्रक्चर में थोड़ा फर्क है और डीएनए में थोड़ा फर्क है. तो आरएनए और डीएनए ऑलमोस्ट सेम है स्ट्रक्चर में, लेकिन जब ओरिजिन ऑफ लाइफ हुआ डीएनए नहीं बना था, आरएनए बना था. राइट? आरएनए सिंगल स्ट्रैंडेड होता है, वो वन जनरेशन से सेकंड जनरेशन तक जा सकता है. इट कैन कैरी इंफॉर्मेशन, राइट? एंड प्रोटीन्स कैन कैटलाइज रिएक्शन, आरएनए कैन आल्सो कैटलाइज रिएक्शन. नाउ सपोज I take you, I tell you, okay, take this letter and give it to that person. So you take that letter and give it to that person. So every time I give you this letter, you take it to that person. आज भी दे रही हूँ, कल भी दे रही हूँ, परसों भी दे रही हूँ. You are RNA. I'm giving you information. You are carrying that information from one generation to next generation. Now what happens? बीच में लेटर जाने के बीच में वो क्या करती है, लेटर को फाड़ देती है. This means while carrying information, you don't carry the whole information. वो आधा लेटर फाड़ देती है, आधा ही वहां पे पहुंचा देती है. So what will happen? The correct information is not being carried forward or transferred, right? So there is a mutation which is occurring, right? The information is only half carried. So in time क्या हुआ? Structure of RNA changed because it was not carrying the complete information. What happened? It evolved into another type form, which is known as RNA to DNA. Now DNA is someone, second person. लेटर लो, जाके दो. डीएनए ने कभी भी लेटर को फाड़ा नहीं. इसका मतलब डीएनए ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, आरएनए बिल्कुल रिस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं है. आरएनए को जब भी इंफॉर्मेशन दो वो उसको चेंज कर देगा. डीएनए को जब भी इंफॉर्मेशन दो वो चेंज नहीं करेगा और करेक्ट इंफॉर्मेशन एक जनरेशन से दूसरे जनरेशन तक पहुंचाएगा. सो इन टाइम अगेन सर्वाइवल ऑफ द fittest. RNA and DNA have similar function. DNA cannot catalyze reactions, but RNA can. But the one which is more responsible is DNA. So, in evolution, DNA was chosen to be the genetic information carrier. And DNA became the molecule to store information. RNA is also still there. It also performs the same function. But to carry information from one generation to another generation, DNA can do better function than RNA. And this is seen in function of RNA and DNA till today. I'll give you an example. DNA has the ability to correct errors. You know DNA replicates? DNA से DNA बनता है. जब DNA से DNA बनता है तो उसमें रेप्लिकेशन के समय काफी सारे एरर्स आ जाते हैं. वो इंफॉर्मेशन कॉपी करता है ना, तो कॉपी करते समय एरर आ जाते हैं. जैसे अगर मैं एक सेंटेंस पढ़ूं, सेल्फ रेप्लिकेटिंग कैटालिटिक फंक्शन कोडिंग मॉलिक्यूल, अगर मेरे बोलने में कुछ एरर आ जाए, सेल्फ रेप्लिकेटिंग कैटालिटिक रेप्लिकेटिंग फंक्शन कैटालिटिक कोडिंग, तो कुछ एरर आ गया, तो हम क्या करते हैं कंप्यूटर में, बैकस्पेस जाके एरर को ठीक कर देते हैं, फिर वापस लिखने लगते हैं. डीएनए ये कर सकता है. सो उसके अंदर एक एंजाइम होता है जो अगर उसमें गलत इंफॉर्मेशन कॉपी हो गई, वो बैक जाएगा, इंफॉर्मेशन को करेक्ट करेगा, फिर उसको रेप्लिकेट करेगा. लेकिन आरएनए ये नहीं कर सकता. आरएनए में ये कैपेबिलिटी नहीं होती. इसीलिए जिन वायरसेस में आरएनए होता है, आरएनए वायरसेस जो आपने बोला, बहुत से प्लांट वायरसेस होते हैं. अ गुड एग्जांपल इज एचआईवी. उसमें जब एरर आ जाता है वो चेंज हो जाता है, मतलब आरएनए का स्ट्रक्चर चेंज हो जाता है. तो जिन लोगों को आरएनए वायरस से इन्फेक्शन हो जाता है, आपको आरएनए वायरस से इन्फेक्शन हुआ, इनको भी आरएनए वायरस से इन्फेक्शन हुआ, इनको भी हुआ. तीनों में शुरू में एक ही वायरस था, आरएनए वायरस था, लेकिन इन टाइम वो इंफॉर्मेशन तो करेक्टली कॉपी करता नहीं है, इसका RNA भी चेंज हो गया, इसका RNA भी चेंज हो गया, इसका RNA भी चेंज हो गया, क्योंकि वो जितने भी एरर्स होते हैं उसको ठीक नहीं करता है, इनकॉर्पोरेट होते रहते हैं। बर्ड फ्लू वायरस, डेंगू वायरस, सार्स वायरस, ऑल दीज आर वायरस, वायरल डिजीज। इन्फ्लुएंजा वायरस, अभी 2013 में बर्ड फ्लू वायरस फैला था। बर्ड फ्लू वायरस ने इतने पॉपुलेशन को मार दिया। H1N1, H5N5, ऑल दीज आर वायरसेस। ये जो H और N क्या है, ये उनके स्ट्रक्चर का डिनोमिनेशन है। तो उनके स्ट्रक्चर में चेंज आ जाता है, क्योंकि वो RNA वायरसेस हैं, उनके अंदर RNA जो है वो चेंज हो जाता है। तो अभी 2015 में जो बर्ड फ्लू हो रहा है या कोई भी टाइप का वायरल फीवर हो रहा है, वो सेम स्ट्रेन नहीं है, सेम वायरस नहीं है, क्योंकि उसका स्ट्रक्चर चेंज हो चुका है, क्योंकि उसका जीनोम RNA का बना हुआ है और वो इंफॉर्मेशन वन जनरेशन टू अनदर ठीक से कॉपी करता नहीं। लेकिन DNA ठीक से इंफॉर्मेशन कॉपी करता है। जिन ऑर्गेनिजम्स में DNA होता है एज अ जीनोम, वो इंफॉर्मेशन ठीक से कॉपी होती है। तो ये इसका लिविंग एग्जांपल है why organisms with RNA are not able to sustain for a very long time in the same manner. So DNA was created and evolution of DNA from RNA took place. So this is an accepted theory now, and this is known as the RNA world theory. And after several rounds of this is found in all modern cells, and this is the evolutionary success story of biological information processing. Let me tell you, the whole field of information technology, IT, has taken inspiration from this. The first person who discovered computers, Charles Babbage, he said this. He said that in living organisms, there is a molecule. He was not a biologist. He said there is a molecule which processes information from one generation to next generation. He was talking about DNA. And I want to do the same thing in this machine. You give all the information, it will process it and produce another information which we can use. What do computers do? Information processing. And they process that information that we can use. What is a software? What is an algorithm? What is a computer program? All these are the same things. And we already have it in our system. So the whole field of computers has originated and taken cue from this modern system, has taken information from the biological information processing system. In the same way, DNA processes information and all biological organisms survive. So हमारे ब्रेन में इंफॉर्मेशन जाती है, हमारा ब्रेन इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोसेस करता है, एंड वो इंफॉर्मेशन हम मुंह से निकालते हैं। आप सब पढ़ते हैं ना, ABCD 1 2 3 I डिफरेंट लैंग्वेजेस एक्सेट्रा, साइंस, ज्योग्राफी, हिस्ट्री, ये सब इंफॉर्मेशन एक CPU में जाता है, वहां जाके प्रोसेस होता है। ऐसे ही आपके DNA के अंदर इंफॉर्मेशन है, वो इंफॉर्मेशन भी प्रोसेस होता है और वो एक एल्गोरिदम में चलता है। इन मॉडर्न डे दिस फील्ड इज नोन एज बायोइंफॉर्मेटिक्स। You know, this is a field of biotechnology where you use computers and you study how information in human system is processed. Entirely the work is done on computers. So as I told you in the beginning, biology doesn't mean only biology. So the whole field of computers merges into biology and you get information out of it. So you have the RNA world and RNA hypothesis, and so on. The life originated on land, took several billion years. There was molecular life where only microorganisms were there, then prokaryotes, eukaryotes, and then there were human beings and animals. Now, I always am fascinated. There are so many surfaces on earth where the conditions are highly extreme, high temperature, high pressure, high salinity, high alkalinity, high radiation. And despite all these high conditions, there are organisms which are living there. This is the photograph of a hydrothermal vent. You know what is a hydrothermal vent? Hot spring तो सबने सुना हुआ है. Hot spring land के ऊपर होता है. You know, under the surface of earth, there is, what is under the surface of earth? Lava, magma, which is having a temperature of 1200 degrees or more. You know, वो geography में पढ़ते थे ना? Core of the earth is made up of nickel and iron. Then उसके बाद mantle होता है. फिर उसके बाद crust होता है जो एल्यूमिनियम से बना होता है. तो अगर आप वाटर सरफेस में हैं, ओशन में हैं, ओशन में आप पानी में हैं, फिर पानी के नीचे 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 जाएंगे, कभी तो जमीन आ जाएगी ना. The ocean sea floor. That ocean sea floor, if you dig under it, what is there? Magma, right? उसी ocean sea floor में अगर एक होल होता है, उसको बोलेंगे वेंट, और नीचे से गरम गरम मैग्मा उसमें से निकलेगा. That place is known as a hydrothermal vent, and it looks like this. So what happens? The hot magma, which is 1200 degrees centigrade, it will come out from the surface of the earth under the sea floor. Sea floor, you understand, no? In the oceans, the sea floor has a small hole. The same thing, if it is on the surface of earth, you call it a volcano or a hot spring where water comes out. If it is on the sea floor, there is a small hole, the hot magma comes out. Hot magma is 1200 degrees centigrade. The moment it comes into contact with cold water, sea water, which is very cold, and magma is nothing but minerals, it will precipitate. It forms black smoke. That's why it looks like this. So all that precipitate comes and deposits, comes and deposits, comes and deposits, and there is a tunnel which is formed where hot magma is continuously coming out. Now, when this 1200 degrees mixes with sea water, the temperature reduces to 450 degrees. So the temperature outside on this vent region where all the precipitate has collected, and this precipitate comes out as black smoke, it is known as a black smoker chimney, and always smoke looks like smoke coming out, but actually it is insoluble inorganic compounds which are coming out from the magma. Microbes are found in the most unlikely spaces. Hydrothermal vents, hot springs, sea volcanoes, trenches and gorges, and there are some natural deposits of uranium also. And those organisms which can survive in such high temperature conditions, not only temperature, any kind of extreme conditions, they are known as extremophiles. Why are we wanting to learn about them? Extremophiles are those organisms who are extremely flexible to survive under extreme conditions. They are those organisms which were there when the earth originated, because during the origin of life, extreme conditions were there. Modern living organisms have originated from there. We have originated from extremophiles, but we are hardly extremophiles. थोड़ा सा टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज, पसीना छूटने लगता है, ठंड में नहीं हम रह सकते, ज़्यादा एल्कलाइन या एसिडिक चीज़ें नहीं खा सकते, वी कांट डाइजेस्ट, और हमारा बॉडी का जो अंदर इंटरनल टेम्परेचर, पीएच, प्रेशर, सब कुछ नॉर्मल रेंज में आता है, कोई भी एक्सट्रीम कंडीशन में नहीं जाता है. We can't survive extreme of conditions, but we have originated from those organisms, and those organisms are found till today also on the surface of earth. What is the strangest and wildest thing you have seen in life? Can you tell me? Anything strange you have seen? You haven't seen that. Someone else is dead. What else? Anything strange? कोई भी चीज स्ट्रेंज देखी है लाइफ में? Different strange animals, you know, strange animals. This is a bird of paradise. It's called a bird of paradise. It's found in African jungles. You know, this bird is the same as this bird. ये दोनों बर्ड सेम है, लग नहीं रही हैं. ये बर्ड मेटिंग के समय अपने फीमेल को इम्प्रेस करने के लिए ये फेस बना लेती है और डांस करती है ताकि फीमेल अट्रैक्ट हो जाए. इट्स कॉल्ड द बर्ड ऑफ पैराडाइज. A python can eat a whole fat pig. You've seen this probably on Discovery or Nat Geo Wild or something. And it can really eat it. ये हाथ नहीं है, ये pig को खा रहा है. Hydrothermal vent. This is really strange. I'll show you how. The temperature in a hydrothermal vent is about 400 degrees. You know what these organisms are? Tube worms. You heard of earthworms? Same family. They are found in hydrothermal vents at a temperature of 400 degrees. Can you imagine? An earthworm-like creature living in a hydrothermal vent at the temperature of 400 degrees. They don't have any digestive system. They have no digestive system. They can't make food, they can't process food. What they eat is microorganisms from the surrounding area. The black precipitate which is collecting, they just swallow it. And they have, you know, one stomach. So if I draw the structure, there is no board here. एक लाइन बनाई मैंने, वर्म है ना, तो एक लाइन है, सेकेंड लाइन गोला लाइन, अंदर से बस ये ऐसे ही दिखते. Can you imagine? We have such a complex digestive system and they are just flat, एक stomach, line, end. Only one organ in the body because they can't process food. They just swallow, it collects, the food is digested by the microorganisms, finish. You know why they are red in color? You know, you have something red in your body also? Blood. Blood is red because of? They also have hemoglobin. They have the same hemoglobin as you. Strange, no? Pompey worm. Similarly, annelid, like earthworm. These worms are found to thrive at temperatures of 80 degrees. एक वर्म 80 डिग्री का टेम्परेचर सह सकता है और हम 45 भी नहीं सह सकते. This makes the Pompey worm as the most heat tolerant complex animal known to science after another set of organisms which I will show, and it is able to survive temperatures above 150 degrees also. That's really strange, a worm able to survive such high temperature. This is a microorganism. It's not a bacteria. It's not a fungi, it's not a virus. It is a unique type of microorganism which is known as archaea. Archaebacteria सुनते थे, अभी archaebacteria नहीं है, अभी archaea बोलते हैं. They are not bacteria. They grow especially in mines, in iron ore mines. You know, in Odisha there are a lot of them. It produces concentrated sulfuric acid. You know, sulfuric acid, it's a very corrosive acid. They don't eat it, they produce it. They produce concentrated sulfuric acid and they destroy area around the mines. No other organism can grow. This means they are the only organisms. So when we talk about competition among organisms, they have no competition. Because there is no other organism which can survive in concentrated sulfuric acid. Survives very nicely at acidic pH. Methanopyrus candleri. This organism needs 121 degrees for growth. If it is 120 degrees, it will die. It cannot grow below 121 degrees. Hyperthermophile. Thermophiles are till 80 degrees. Hyperthermophiles are those which can sustain a temperature from 80 to 121. 121, not 120. So, why are these organisms so important?